When you think of the best meets in the sport, it doesn't get any better than Saratoga. From the first year of racing in 1863 to now, there have been many great moments. However, most of us haven't been alive long enough to have seen them. While we celebrate the 150th anniversary this summer, there are some who were around when Saratoga celebrated the 100th.
This town, it's just an amazing place.
Eddie Brown has been in the racing game for more than half a century. Since then, he has worked his way up the ladder, going from an exercise rider to working as a valet for some of the greatest jockeys the sport has ever known. When it comes to some of his fondest Saratoga memories,
I've seen Forgo, Kelso, Tom Fu. I saddled Secretariat when he broke his maiden. The groom and I were the only ones in the picture.
it's amazing to think that at one time, Belmont and Aqueduct were the crown jewels of New York racing. However, that began to change when the city of Saratoga invested in the future of its downtown and when a date in the 1978 Travers sparked a racing renewal in the spa. Historian Mike Veach remembers that day well.
The 78 affirmed Aladar Travers, which people started coming to Saratoga, not from Manhattan and Long Island, they came from California to see the Triple Crown rivalry. Keep going, they got, wow, this place is beautiful. Right. This place is, we've never been to Saratoga. And I think that's one of the turning points.
From all-time great horses to great people watching, some of the biggest names in professional sports and entertainment visit the spa each year. You just never know who you'll run into.
I timed the horse one morning, I wasn't sure who he was, and I went to go and follow him out, and I ran into Fred Astaire, which was something.
As you can see, some big names spend their summer months in Saratoga. But when it comes to trainers, there's no bigger figure than legendary Hall of Famer, Alan Jerkins. Affectionately known as the Chief, Jerkins saddled his first winner in 1950, and since that time he's won more than 3,700 races. In 1975, the time of his Hall of Fame induction, he was the youngest trainer ever honored in that way. Another one of his nicknames is Giant Killer. He got that one from his monumental upsets of some of the greatest horses in the history of racing, including his upset of Secretariat with Onion in the 1973 Whitney Handicap. Despite all his success, there was a time when he was just trying to catch a break and a great trainer gave him a helping hand.
He was wonderful. He gave me a horse on the cuff. The deal was you would pay them 50% of the purses till they got their 5,000. So we were going along and we got into races and he started to show a little something, but I lost him for 4,000. We weren't out on him yet. So I go to him, I said, to give him the money, you know, to make up for the 5,000, and he said, boy, if I take this money, you won't have any, will you? I said, not very much, Mr. Fitz. He says, well, you did better than most people do with horses. They get on the cuffs, so I'm going to give you half back. So it was a godsend because a friend of mine came and we claimed a cheap horse, and we got lucky with him. We won a couple of races and lost him for 6,000, which put me in business. Yeah. But he was, not just because of that, he was a fine gentleman anyway. Just the opposite of what they portray him in Seabiscuit. As a grumpy old man, he was anything but that.
From the 100th anniversary to the 150th, some amazing stories from the people that witnessed it. Just imagine the stories this generation will be able to share when we celebrate 200 years of racing in Saratoga.